Fora TV. The world is thinking.
So in the chapter on sexuality, you also noted that you've stopped carrying a cell phone in your pants pocket. Can you tell us why?
I can, and this is actually, I struggled with whether to include this or not, because the whole cell phones will kill you, and this, that, and the other thing, most people associate, as I did, with like your Aunt Becky, who also likes crystals, and it's like, oh, please, I'm not going to put like tinfoil on my head to protect me from the aliens, I'm not going to do it. But I was interviewing a very famous strength coach named Charles Poliquin, and he had noted in one of his interviews that he associated low T values, testosterone, with athletes who carried their cell phones in their pockets. So I asked him, somewhat, and not in a condescending manner, but I didn't really believe it. And I said, so, okay, you've observed that A, B, and C. And he goes, observed? What are you talking about? He goes, look at the literature yourself. Okay, so he gave me a few pointers, and I did look at the literature, and when you separated out the studies that were directly or indirectly funded by industry, meaning manufacturers and carriers and so forth, there was a very compelling case that very limited cell phone exposure, and when I say cell phone, I mean cell phone, GSM, I think it was 900 megahertz cell phones, 1 hour could severely negatively affect sperm morphology, meaning shape, motility, meaning swimming direction, doesn't do you very much good if they're going the wrong way, count, etc. And that was 1 hour. And in California, something like 30, I'm sure that number is outdated already, at least 30% of males in California rely on their cell phones exclusively as phones. How long is that sitting in your pocket a day? 10 hours? 12 hours?
Wow.
And
fertility rates are going down, or testosterone.
Oh yeah. And I was able to do a few things, among which was turning off the cell phone or keeping it out of my pocket. Also identified a selenium deficiency that I fixed, which can significantly affect
So no, wait. I think some people who haven't read the book maybe not know that you had your sperm tested, right? To make sure, to see what your testosterone levels were.
So I doubled my sperm count in 3 months.
Oh.
That is non-trivial. And
so are you trying to have a baby? Is that?
I just want superhuman sperm. You never know.
Well, you've also frozen what you call your swimmies, right?
I have frozen my swimmies, and the reason that I became interested in sperm count specifically was because I had a few brushes with mortality. I had a very bad motorcycle accident. I had a friend of mine die, sadly, and I realized, maybe it's a good idea to start storing sperm while it's still somewhat healthy. It's not going to get better with age, certainly. Sure. And went in fully expecting to have, didn't even occur to me that there would be any issue. And the lab results came back, which they always do, because they're checking the sample. They were like, this is actually not a good sample. What do you mean it's not a good sample? Sperm count's not that great, buddy. Let's take a look. And I was just flabbergasted. And then over time, because tests are error prone, most tests can have errors. So I never make a decision based on one test. I always repeat it. So I repeated, and over time it just got lower. And this freaked me out, I think, with good cause. And that's why I became very interested in this and realized that even among healthy males in industrialized countries, sperm count's lowering something like 1% a year.
That's crazy.
And has been for 20 years. So I very strongly believe that of men, let's just say 30 to 35 right now, who aim to have kids in the next 5 years, I would say at least 20% are going to have difficulty conceiving. At least, minimum, bare minimum. I think that's very conservative. So
that's scary.
It is scary. Side note for women, fertility-related gluten, get rid of gluten, and also I would recommend that you consider increasing saturated fat intake. I've seen dozens of case studies, miscarriage, eliminate gluten, add in saturated fat, pregnant within 2 weeks. It's amazing.
That's crazy.
Yeah.